Thomas, Scottish Boxing News, here with Sam Kynoch at the launch of Kynoch Promotions. How do you feel it went today?
Yeah, really well. So had a good contingent of the boxers over, had a meeting, just an internal thing today, get some photos with the new branding and discuss our event plans for tail end of this year and the future. Yeah. So it was good.
It's obviously been a couple of weeks since you sort of officially launched it. How have you found sort of the whole thing so far?
It's been great, it's been hectic. Really pleased with the level of support I've received. I'd like to thank everyone that contacted me via our pages and personally, so I'm really happy with the support, both from the general public and from the boxers as well. So we've got a really good team pulled together. As I say, it's 28 boxers, of which most were here today for the meeting, so it was good. I've spoken to them all individually on the phone, and they're all excited and looking to get going with the first promotion in September.
Yeah, obviously you were with MTK Scotland. Just talk about how sort of it came about this. You decided to do your own thing? Yeah, so it was purely there's no bad blood. MTK do a great job as a management company. Obviously they're the kind of at the forefront of the game. Just you have to watch the television last night. Frampton, Fury, and Paddy Barnes, all the main three fights on BT Sport, all with MTK. So they're doing a great job. But from my perspective, just the direction in which I want to go, it was best for me to be doing my own thing. And obviously MTK are looking to retain a presence in Scotland, which they will do so under the MTK Scotland banner. And I'll operate under my own brand, being Kynoch Boxing and Kynoch Boxing Promotions and Management. And obviously the gym will rebrand as the Kynoch Boxing Gym, which the signage almost finished now. But yeah, moving forward, I mean, this Friday I've got two boxers on the promotion at the Emirates, and I would hope that we can work together. Yeah. Going forward, because at the end of the day we represent boxers. It shouldn't be about anyone other than the boxers and what's best for them. That would apply between the dynamic of myself and MTK, and I feel it should for any manager anywhere in the sport. For sure. You obviously got a couple of boxers on their show on next Friday as well.
Yep.
So that's
so Aidan McGlynn and Chris Wood both boxing on Friday. So yeah, looking forward to seeing them both in action. So I'll obviously be at the event in the capacity as the manager, so it'll be good.
Obviously some people might draw when Danny Vaughan came into MTK Scotland, they might say like the writing was on the wall, this change might happen. Is that the case at all, or was it a case of you wanting to do your own thing rather than sort of pushed out? I'm not saying that's what happened.
Yeah. I'd say it was multifactorial. I think by nature I've always in some ways kind of wanted to do my own thing, and the whole experience with what was AMG and then MTK has been great. I've thoroughly enjoyed it, but I think there's always been a feeling that I would do my own thing, and yeah, obviously Danny, the timing kind of ties in quite well in terms of they're looking to come and establish a presence here, so it worked well for both parties is what I would say really. That yeah, he wants to kind of do things here, but at the same time I've always wanted to be my own man, and there's been a few things have kind of led me to that sort of decision, you know. So yeah, I would say it just works out well timing wise. It's not a case of I aspire to always be MTK Scotland, and I feel that Danny's came, he's done anything wrong, and they've tried to push me out because his wife's bought the company. It's nothing like that, and there's no hard feelings on either side. It's just one of those things. It's just boxing. So looking forward, I'm just delighted to be operating under my own banner and, you know, doing my own thing. It's very much business as usual, because my events were obviously me, and it's just much of what's going to go on for me is going to be the same thing under a different name. So
yes, obviously you've got your show in September.
Yep.
The two title fights, then you've got Paisley Lagoon as well in October. So busy times for yourself. 3 events. We've got an event September, October and November. So we're back at the Crown Plaza in November. We've got 1 Celtic title fight confirmed for that, looking to do 2 title fights. So that's it. I said in an interview recently, the kind of key for me is to deliver high quality contests and promotions and to put on lots of title fights, and that's going to be the driver for me. So all the events I've got before the end of this year are packed with those, but the stable
is busy outside of that. Next week we've got the 2 lads on the Emirates promotion. The week after that for Dean Sutherland boxing in Aberdeen, on a Northern Sporting Club promotion with David McAllister. The week after that Craig Kelly's boxing on a prospect boxing show at Strathclyde Hilton. So the stable's been kept busy on lots of different promotions, working closely with St Andrews Sporting Club and Saltire, so just keeping them busy. Obviously my events are key, but at the same time keeping the boxers busy on other promotions. So next year we've already got 4 dates at the Crown Plaza, 4 public shows, and looking to add at least another 2, so activity levels will remain the same, if not be a little bit enhanced, because there's a couple of things I'm working on, some potential joint ventures and a few really quite exciting things promotionally, which should come to fruition early next year. So things are going to be busy.
Any clues to what they might be?
None. Sorry.
None whatsoever.
Sorry.
Can't even throw some breadcrumbs down now.
So, just a couple of different things looking to do to keep the boxers busy and enhance our offering as a promotional outfit.
Fair enough. What is your sort of aim, say short term and long term with Kynoch Promotions?
Much in the same as it has been, to keep to do the best job by the boxers, acquire talent in terms of signing the best boxers, and then do the best job by them, take them as far as they can go. I think in this game that's what it boils down to produce the goods in the ring. It's up to the boxers at the end of the day. Obviously management and promotional companies will facilitate that and help them, but the proof is really in the in terms of the boxers producing the goods. So short term, just enhancing our position, adding more champions to the team in terms of Scottish and Celtic title level, and then I've got a few that are just knocking on the door for more major honours, get those titles won, then move onwards and upwards from there. So that's it. I just want to be at the forefront of Scottish boxing. Fair. I've spent my whole life in Scottish boxing, but I've been in it for a long time, and I know what I want to achieve, and I feel like I'm well on the way to doing that already. This isn't a standing start by any stretch of the imagination, but I've got a few different ideas and a few different things that I know are going to really help the sport up here, and will go down well with fans and also the boxers. All the boxers left here excited today, and I must say I feel the same way about their careers on an individual basis.
Fair enough. When you say you've got your own ideas of how to do things, do you envision seeing doing anything differently from what you have done in the past?
In some respects, things have been successful thus far, busy and everything else. So there'll be much continuing along the same lines, because if something's not broken, then don't try to fix it. But there's going to be a few different angles taken on things, and I've got quite a few ideas to kind of shake things up a bit. So. Yeah, I can't go into great detail. Obviously, I'm quite early in the process and I'm working on a few things, but no, there's a few different things in the pipeline that will work well for myself, for the boxers, and for the sport as a whole.
Yeah. What would be the ideal end goal for yourself? Where would you, if you say sit back in 40, 50 years' time, or something like that, and say, I'm happy with what I did?
Just to have been known to have done the best job I can by the boxers, and that doesn't necessarily mean having X amount of British champions, X amount of world champions, just to do the best, because every boxer has a level, and just with each boxer to show integrity and support them and take them to the best of their abilities, that would be more important for me than being able to hang my hat on saying, I've had a world champion. I'm not necessarily driven by that. That would obviously be great, and I do aspire to that, but the main thing for me is integrity and doing the best job by the boxers, and people saying that I delivered what I said I would and I did the best possible job by them. That's really what's most important to me. Not in this game to make anybody any false promises. I never have done, I never will do. It's just about delivering what I can for boxers and working as hard as I can for them. I think I bring a lot to the table, years of experience in boxing. People kind of like to kind of promote themselves, and as a promoter you probably should, but people aren't going to beat the drum about it all the time, but a first class degree in law, finished very highly in my year in law school, worked for Scotland's largest commercial firm, qualified into their corporate department, went through one of the most rigorous recruitment processes in the country, came out on top, and then I'm pushing myself in the boxing field now. I bring a lot to the table. I'm intelligent, I'm driven, I'm relatively young in the boxing game, so I really am full of confidence, and people kind of need to know that. It's like I've too often just kind of been, I'm not somebody who likes the limelight, but at the same time I need to push myself a bit more, maybe to a role like that for the benefit of the boxers, and I look to do that in doing interviews and things, even if it doesn't come necessarily naturally, and you're not seeking out interviews, but I just need to do the best job by the boxers. So, yeah, just want to be remembered for doing a good job for Scottish boxing. That's it.
Fair enough.
Be somebody who did what they said they would.
Yeah, good stuff. You said you had 28 boxes. Do you look at signing any more under the Kynoch banner?
Yeah, so busy in terms of our own promotions, and we've got so many links with other promoters that there's capacity to take on more boxers. I understand the game well. I know how things work, and I know what I can and can't take on, but there's definitely capacity there for some more. I'm in talks with a couple of boxers at the moment that are looking to get on board. We'll see if they're the right fit for us and we're the right fit for them, and we'll take it from there. But yeah, definitely. I'm not looking to say I'm independent from MTK. I'm only taking on X amount of boxers. Not the ambition and plans are still the exact same, and we're here to take boxers on and do the best we can for them. And if it's not the right fit for somebody, then so be it. But yeah, we will be looking to take more boxers on. Yeah. Absolutely.
You able to give us an update on any sort of the fighters that are looking around titles and things? I think Jordan McCurry obviously is one of these ones that's sort of been affected by sort of the recent board meetings.
Yeah, so Jordan was in the picture for a British title eliminator, and then somewhat bizarrely was then missed out the next circular. Leon Woodstock withdrew from that eliminator. Jordan wasn't then put forward for another eliminator or a final eliminator or indeed a direct shot at the title. He was just frozen out of the picture, so I don't think that really is very reflective of the position whereby Jordan was put forward for an eliminator, was all set to take it, his opponent withdrew, and he's been a victim of those circumstances. So that's a shame. So we're looking down some different routes for Jordan. Can't divulge much by way of details, but we're looking at a big fight end of the year. That's pretty much done. Just got to sort out some of the nitty-gritty details, but a good fight for Jordan before the end of the year. So he's out 6th of October on the Salta promotion show, and then he will be in a big fight at the end of the year.
Fair enough. Sort of lastly, you do obviously quite a lot of shows at, say, the hotels and like Lagoon and things, and you've spoken before about doing shows sort of around the country and not just around Glasgow. Do you look at sort of doing shows in, say, Inverness, Aberdeen, Ayrshire, and as well, do you look at sort of stepping up, moving on to, say, bigger venues and things in the future?
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously that's something that will come in time in terms of the nature of going to bigger venues and things, and the bigger the titles, the bigger the fights, the bigger the venues, but geographically moving around Ayr and the Ayrshire area, we will be doing something first half of next year. That's a definite, so that's a new territory for us. Dundee I would love to do. I'm still struggling with a venue, so we might look to Aberdeen before we do Dundee, maybe a co-promotion or maybe something standalone. But put it this way, Dean Sutherland's boxing there on the 1st of September, and he's got a waiting list of 100. That tells you something about the appetite for boxing up there, and obviously Dean's own appeal. So Aberdeen is relatively close proximity to Dundee, so we're looking to do something up north and in the Ayrshire area. Inverness, we've got Andrew Mackay's challenger for the Scottish title. If he's successful there, he's got a title that could then call upon the demand for an Inverness promotion. So yeah, we'll just look at it on a case by case basis, but definitely want to be reflective of we're here for Scottish boxing, and we want to take promotions to different areas. Under my last company, SK Boxing Promotions, which went professional boxing events, I ran events in Dumfries, Perth, Aberdeen, Dunfermline, Edinburgh, all over the country, and that helped cement a good reputation for that company, and it was good. And looking to do the same in the professional ranks, obviously as and when you need boxers from that area to go to an area, but we've got a very good spread of boxers, so we'll be looking to move the promotions around.
Fair enough. That one in Ayrshire, whereabouts would you be looking to do that?
I've got a meeting with 2 venues next week, so I'll have that, hopefully have that confirmed relatively soon.
Perfect. Listen, thanks for your time,
You're very welcome.
Enjoy the sparring later on.
Yeah, will do, thank you.